10 before the hour. I've just got to drop this into the mix tonight. This is another Pat Robertson story. I mean, they just get weirder and weirder. But this one, this is a brutal son of a bitch, Pat Robertson. He said on Tuesday that a woman called in and said she was having trouble adjusting to the fact that her 3-year-old died. The caller wanted help. Actually, the caller wanted help consoling a coworker who asked why God had let her baby die. So Pat Robertson said that the death of this 3-year-old wasn't, his words, a bad thing because, you know, the baby could have grown up to be the next Adolf Hitler or Joseph Stalin. Now, this is a sick son of a bitch, this Pat Robertson. Well, we all know that, but my God. Robertson said to this woman who called in, quote, in the Old Testament, it was like God's responsible for everything. He brings out the bad, he brings out the good, he's responsible for everything. More and more in the New Testament era, we have come to realize that human beings have an agency. They have responsibility. A lot of things happen because of what humans do. Woo! Newsflash, right, Pat? Robertson said human error could have resulted in the death of the child, and in that case, it would not have been the work of God. What? Oh, I see. God needs an exit clause in all these billions of contracts he has, trillions of contracts with everything. Every atom that moves because of God's will. So there's got to be an exit clause. And in this case, if human error resulted in the death of the child, well then, God's off the hook. But, I mean, how does that work? Are there people among us who work outside the strings that Pat Robertson says, oh, never mind. But anyway, he went on, Robertson, the hole wasn't deep enough. So, you know, the first rule of holes, when you're in one, stop digging. But he kept going. He said, quote, as far as God's concerned, now remember, Pat Robertson knows the mind of God, always has, always will. As far as God's concerned, he knows the end from the beginning. What? Okay. And he sees a little baby, and that little baby could grow up to be Adolf Hitler. He could grow up to be Joseph Stalin. He could grow up to be a serial killer. Hell, he could grow up to be me. No, I just added that. Or he could grow up to die of a hideous disease. God sees all of that. And for that life to be terminated while he's a baby, well, he's going to be with God forever in heaven, so it isn't a bad thing. I mean, people watch this moron, this sadist, this sick old bastard. Come on, Pat, go meet your maker. I really do want to mention your obituary on this program. I do. You're one of the people whose obituary I want to mention on this program. I do. I promise you. From the depths of my heart. You know, I got to do Falwell, and I want to do you. Please, Pat, okay? Step off this mortal coil. Do your own personal rapture. I don't care what you do, but I want to be on radio long enough to say, well, here's something, folks. Pat Robertson's dead. Again. And then you know what, Pat? A year later, I want to say, hey, here's something. Pat Robertson's still dead. And then a year after that, hey, damn, it's been 2 years. Pat Robertson's still dead. And I don't apologize for that because I think you are a sick SOB. You really are. You're a sick man. You deserve to just crawl into a cave somewhere and pull the darkness in behind you and stay there. But no, you're on television. You have something called the 700 Club. Right? What's that stand for? That stands for money, doesn't it, Pat? Huh? Stands for money. Abso-damn-lutely. Well, stands for like those airplanes you used to fly, you lying son of a bitch, when you said you were running mercy missions to Congo. And what you were actually doing, you might take a few boxes of Band-Aids over there and then come back with a whole load of diamonds, right? You thug. You thug. You horrible, horrible thug. This baby could have grown up to be you. I do. I get insane about this stuff. I just do. When I think of the horrible damage that people like Robertson perpetrate onto innocent people, just people who okay, they're maybe not so innocent if they think some sky being is pulling little puppet strings all over the planet, but still innocent. I guess that's a form of innocence. And well, no, it's not. That's a form of madness. That's not innocence. I'm sorry. Pat Robertson, though, to take advantage of somebody else's craziness. That's what George Bush did. George W. Bush said that God told him to invade Iraq. God told him to invade Afghanistan. I wonder why God doesn't tell George W. Bush to stick a pencil in his eye. Would George do that? I mean, if he's willing, of course, it wasn't God that spoke to George W. Bush. It was Dick Cheney. Cheney would come to him at night. George, I want you to invade Iraq. Oh, all right. You know, oh my God. So I don't know. For folks that say, why did Malloy leave the religion thing alone? No, can't because it's a stream of toxicity that runs through just about everything that happens on this planet right now. As far as I'm concerned, always has been. Always has been. Religion is nothing you want to mess with.